Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for showing up today. I wanted to talk to you about the narcissist and how they walk in your energy. The narcissist, they like to come in and steal your essence, your aura. And that's how they get enticed to liking you. They like you a lot of times on an energetic level more than anything. There's nothing wrong with liking somebody for their energy, though, because that's truly who they are. But they like you for your energy because they just want to suck all of it off of you and leave you with theirs. They want to project themselves upon you. And this is a psycho-spiritual situation where they come in and they first think you're going to be the answer to all their problems. You're perfect in the love bomb phase, and they're infatuated with that. You're going to take care of all their problems. You're going to save their life. You're going to make their life correct. And they're not going to have to put any hard work in. They're going to be able to learn your ways and become just like you. And that's how it initiates, or that's how it starts. Later on, it turns into a lot of work they see that they are going to have to do to become like you. And they're not willing to do that. So then they sabotage, project upon you. They want to steal your essence or your energy. And that's what a narcissist will do. They will project all their evil deeds they have done, and you'll feel like you have to get forgiveness for their sins after you accept them and absorb their energy. A lot of times we don't know what energy is or energy transference. A lot of times it sounds hocus pocus. It sounds ridiculous. So you're going to steal my energy or my persona, take my gifts, switch with me. But this happens. And when you wake up to this, it's like a whole new world out there. A whole new world. No, but it is. And it's a whole new world that you never knew existed. So the first things first, you have to leave the narcissist, and then you have to separate and detach from them, get off the rumination, and you have to learn what energy transference is and what it consists of. So you have to figure out what energy is yours and what somebody else's, because everybody has their aura of energy. And when they try to project it upon you, tell you you did it, or it's your fault, or you shouldn't have did this, and they throw this big cloud of energy on you, it sucks into you if you accept it and you give them yours. So you want to just be observing but not absorbing. Just don't let it penetrate. And you'll understand that after you've walked in this for a while and you've learned these things. It's almost like a big secret going on out there in the world until you've been devastated by it and understand that it is true and it does occur. That's usually how you wake up to it. And you've walked in the shoes of feeling like them for a long time. And then you watch them go out and almost be blessed for a time because they're walking in your energy. So they're always projecting upon you. Just them being around you is almost like them absorbing you and you absorbing them to a certain degree. The covenant, contract, and consent situation is huge. So that's why it won't happen necessarily out and about in the world unless you accept it. But in a covenant, contract, and a consent, like a relationship or a close friendship, you deciding to hang out with these individuals, it will be more easily absorbed because you have come into an agreement. You chose to be there. You wanted to be with them. So there's more at stake there. And you're less covered, less protected. And coming out of this, you have to learn boundaries and loving yourself and being kind to yourself and knowing your worth. And that takes time. You'll end up cutting a lot of people out of your life. They try to continue to do this. They'll find several people because they have to cycle. And once you're out of fuel, they have to go to somebody else and they have to steal or siphon their fuel. The person has to be willing to do it, either unawoke or willing to do it. And they basically dump all their negativity on you, take all your positive energy. And that's how they energize the mask. The mask is for them to look like an innocent person when they're not, when they're actually evil. That's kind of why you see stuff like Halloween, people wear a mask. It's kind of like them telling you the day of the dark is how they live their life. They wear a mask. And when they have the mask on, they act like somebody outside themselves. Because what you're seeing is this outer covering, this mask. They may not look any different. They may a little energetically, but the mask is to conceal. And that's what they do. Wearing your energy conceals them from who they truly are and what they're truly doing. Because normally an individual that's evil, you would see it on them and they can't hide it. Because of the way that they move, the way they walk and operate, it would be easy to tell they're an evil doer because they'd be wearing it. They'd be wearing it in their ego, and in certain circumstances, it would come out. But when they're wearing your energy, they have the ability to put it in hibernation. They're projecting it on you and siphoning your good fuel to wear it on their whole body. So when they walk, they look innocent. When they talk, it sounds innocent and it's believable. But all fuel runs out. Fuel is something that needs to be replaced. And if you can't generate the fuel yourself, if you're not a self-made generator, and narcissists are not, they've given up on the ability to generate goodness. So then they are without fuel, an energetic body that would look inherently evil. They have to take it or steal it from others. And the only way to do that is to get people to accept their negative energy through projection or belittling, guilt tripping, and things like that. To convince others they are the energy that the narcissist is wearing. So whatever energy the narcissist is wearing, they want to project on another individual. That is fruitful in the 9 fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, kindness, faithfulness, good self-control, these types of things. And they steal those fruits from you so they can look like good humanity, and they wear it. And that's why you'll find also when the narcissist gives you no validation, or they're basically telling you they're not giving you any energy because they're preserving it. They don't have to give you energy. They got you stuck already. And that's why behind closed doors and stuff, they're not going to wear their energy for you. They're stealing it from you so they could wear it out there. You already know they're evil, or they're not really a good person. Or you may be convinced they're doing evil, but they're working on it. Whatever the case, they're not going to perform really good in front of you because they're always taking from you. And to take from you, they have to get you in your wounding and to operate in your wounding as they inflame it so they can siphon from you. That's where they make cracks in your aura, because they get you believing these small injuries, they inflame them to become big injuries, that you're really much worse than you think you are. And that's where they siphon that energy off from you, and they're able to wear it. But at some point you get worn down. And if you can't generate your own energy, you have to go get it from somewhere else. Or if they've siphoned it off too quickly, you can't regenerate it fast enough for them to take it. So they have to go tap somebody else. And that's why they leave you and cycle with you and go to somebody else. They're not cycling with you and then they're going to find somebody that's perfect for them and quit cycling. The narcissist is always going to cycle. They're always going to cheat. That's why they cheat. They cheat to steal energy. It's not like they're going to find somebody good and quit cheating. They're cheating because that's the way that they are able to siphon energy. Those are the easiest ways. I mean, they can project onto children. If they have children, they do like to have children, but they don't take care of their children. They do it so they could use their energy unbeknownst to them. And it's good energy. It's innocent. And they like the most innocent or naive energy. Energy with goodness, and energy that's innocent, naive, or at least is operating in goodness, but doesn't know they're getting it stolen out from under them and flipped with them. So that's how they are able to survive. They survive and do all these evil things and don't have to pay for them. But it doesn't last forever, but they're camouflaging them in your energy, your fuel. So in the spirit realm, they look like a good person even. And they won't be nailed with all of their atrocities. You will. And people that have agreed to flip energy with them will. But it is stored up for them because at some point they are going to have a narcissist injury or a collapse, which will lead to people cutting off their fuel supply to them. And that's when they get hit with this narcissistic collapse, where they get hit so hard, it knocks them down to the ground and they lose everything. Because they were supposed to get their negative reaping on a daily basis like the rest of humanity. But because they chose to manipulate the laws and the rules that God put into the earth, they have it all held up like a big fat balloon until they have a collapse. And when people energetically all disconnect from them, or they're found out publicly, people will disconnect from them quickly and walk away from them all at once. And they'll be sitting there all alone with nobody to draw fuel from. And this is what God does to people that try to play with his system of rulership illegally. And this is witchcraft. So they do this. They may have negative reaping hit them from 10 years worth because they've been walking around cloaked in other people's energy for so long. They're cloaked in other people's energy. And when they monkey branch somebody else, it's them never stopping a relationship. They're continuing. And they're always trying to keep their fuel pipeline full of supply sources. That's why they're always cheating. They're always lying. Any way they can get over on you. When they get over on you, it's almost as if when you're convinced their lie is not a lie, you just thought it was. These are ways they siphon from you. And they tap you dry in your gifts. And then you get hit with a bunch of negative reaping. And they go to somebody else and they do it to them. and it gives them a squeaky clean mask. But at some point, they'll have a collapse. They'll be outed publicly, and nobody will talk to them anymore because they'll all know they're a lie. And when they all disconnect, that's when they can't wear a mask. People see them for a lie, and they can't garner any supply. They basically are doing this cloaking so that they can look like humanity when they're not, because they don't generate this kind of fuel. They can only generate devious, greedy, envious type fuel. They can't get supply like that, so they have to build a pipeline of people that they're drawing off of to make them look like they can generate these gifts like us, but they can't. But because it wears off, it's like they have to go back to the oil well and pump more oil out. You see, they can't just generate from their own oil pump. So they got to go to another well. This well's dry when you're not giving them anything because you don't have any more to give because they siphoned it quicker than you can create it. They have to leave you and project as much evil on you when they leave you. Go to another oil well that will accept them unlocking it and tapping it and sucking it dry so they can have this glow of the 9 fruits of the Spirit on them. So they can look like they're a good individual when they're not. But when they have a collapse, they lose everything. Nobody will work with them. Nobody will date them. Nobody wants to talk to them. And everything will break. And money will be falling out of their hands like dust. So they're basically taking goodness and manipulating it for evil and stealing all your blessings. And that's why it's imperative you get away from a narcissist and you learn how to energetically keep your energy close to your frame and learn energy transference and the difference between their energy and your energy so that you quit receiving or accepting energy that's not yours. It's really, when you're not awoke to this, you're ignorant to the ability of energy transference. And somehow I believe sin is held in the energetic field. So when you accept their negative energy, you're accepting the sin that comes with it because they can't really repent if they can't truly love. They can't forgive and they can't ask for forgiveness. So they have to throw it on people or else they would look like an evil person through and through if they get no energy. So the narcissists that are unawoke, they've allowed dark energy in, and then they're doing it out of what seems to be instinctively, but they do know they're doing evil and they can't do right. But it starts out that they choose to do evil and they don't want to do right. But over time, it gets to where they can't do right because they don't have any self-control. They've lost it all. And once that thing gets in complete control of them, they lose their true self and they lose the factor of love. And when you lose the factor of love, or it shuts down and it's never to be turned on again, it says in a word in 1 Corinthians 13, without love, you're nothing but noise. You don't have any power in your love because it's a lie. It's fake. So anyway, that's a little bit about energy and energy transference and how it works. If you can give me a like,